Hello and welcome to the self-paced training on making connections. The objectives for this training are that students will be able to make connections to text such as an active reading strategy. So if you'd like instructions on how to use Pear Deck yourself, you can click on the black box here and it will open a new video. We are not going to do that right now though. Connections. We are all connected to each other. We rely on workers in supermarkets to help us find food. They rely on us to be paid. Seeing connections between ourselves and other people helps us relate to them and understand them better. It is also important to make connections when reading a text. When you connect the text to yourself, other texts, the larger world, you can better relate to and understand what you are reading. Who are you connected to in your community? My parents, my extended family, my friends, people at the store, that type of thing. Text to self. The first type of connection is text to self. When you can relate the text to your personal life, you understand it better. Some phrases to help you connect a text to yourself are, if I were in this situation, I would. Something like this happened to me when I feel. When I read this because. I want to learn more about this because. This text is important to me because. An example from my own life is. Hey, how can you connect the following paragraph to yourself? Owning a pet benefits people in many ways. Dogs are said to be man's best friend. There is a good reason the saying is so popular. Pets, when treated well, provide people with unconditional love. This can improve mental health and provide people with a sense of self-worth. This emotional benefit may be obvious to those who have owned pets for a long time. Pet ownership also increases owners' physical health. Since pets require a lot of work, people who own pets are likely to have an active lifestyle. Walking the dog is a great way for both pets and humans to stay fit. Okay, so I don't have a dog myself, but my sister has a dog, and that dog loves to be petted and cuddled and loved. So it kind of shows a lot of unconditional love. So my sister has a dog who provides a lot of unconditional love. Text to text. The second type of connection is text to text. Recalling similar texts that you have already read helps you build on your knowledge. When you have read many texts on the same topic, you gain a deeper understanding of the topic. Some phrases to help you connect to other texts are, I read about this before in, this text is the same as, this text is different than, also talks about this topic in. How can you connect the following paragraph to another text? Students do not learn in the same ways. Many students struggle with physical and mental health disabilities, and this directly affects the way they learn. Unfortunately, not all professors are willing to support them. Snatchkey, Perry, and Snell's research shows that faculty reported the most positive attitudes for students with physical disabilities and the most negative attitudes for students with mental health disabilities. They found that this is because professors can see when students have physical disabilities, but they cannot tell when students have mental disabilities. I don't think I've ever read an article exactly like this, but I have read an article about multiple intelligences. So this article reminds me of a different article I read about multiple intelligences, so that we all have different types of intelligences. Text to world. The third type of connection is text to world. New concepts become more concrete if you can find a real life example of what you are reading. Some phrases to help you connect the text to the world are: a historical example of this is, I just saw this on the news when. One example of this is, this is the same as, this is different than. So how can you connect the following paragraph to the world? As COVID-19 continues to spread around the globe, the debate about returning to school in the fall has become the main topic of conversation in households and in the media. Many people are in favor of returning to school, but others want to continue to learn online. Those in favor of returning to school say parents need to work and students need social interaction. They argue that not everything can be learned via an online platform like Zoom. On the other hand, many people are worried about the potential spread of disease. They want to stop the loss of life, whatever the economic or academic cost may be. So this reminds me of when I saw on the news the plan for students returning to school in Alberta, Canada. So that's the province I am currently in. Making connections. Making connections is a powerful way to learn. When you connect new information to yourself, other texts, or the world, you grow your knowledge about that topic. Some benefits of making connections are improved recollection, more nuanced understanding, the abstract becomes concrete. Making connections is also helpful for your students. When you teach about a new topic, it is helpful for your students to connect what they are learning to things they already know. On the following slide, you will use the drawing tools to make connections to a topic. This is a useful activity for your students. It is also useful for your own personal development. So I'm not going to write this all down, but I'm just kind of going to say the answers. So engineering, connection to myself. Well, my dad is an engineer. And yeah, he was trained as an engineer. Connection to self. When I was doing academic writing at Jiaosei, I would bring in research papers about engineering because it was a technological university. Connection to the world. I think engineering is very important because it's what builds our roads, our bridges, and it helps develop our world. Teaching strategies, connection to yourself. I love to learn new teaching strategies as it helps me become a better teacher. Connection to a text. I recently read an article on classroom management and different techniques around classroom management that you can use. Connection to the world. I think by researching and improving teaching strategies that we can help students learn better across the world. Diet and exercise. I should go on a diet and I should exercise more than I do. Connection to a text. I was reading recently an article about how many calories you can lose going for a run or going for a bike ride. Connection to the world. I think obesity is on the rise, and so diet and exercise is important for everyone. Why is it important to make connections? To gain a better understanding. And it didn't really talk about this, but I think it also helps with critical thinking. You're questioning things, you're comparing, you're contrasting. Okay, so how easy, difficult was this training? I'm just going to put neutral. How satisfied was I with this training? I'll just put neutral. Okay, the end. And then the references are here. So thank you very much for joining me, and bye-bye.